The Strategic Initiative for Women in the Horn of Africa, SIHA, has expressed concern over an increased sexual assault cases that target women and girls amidst Sudan's continuous conflict. This week, a plight was made to draw attention to the suffering of civilians in Sudan and to discuss the effects of the war on women and their communities. From November 22nd to 23rd, SIHA organized a Pan-African Feminist Peace Conference in Nairobi that was attended by various activists and delegates across the region. The conference highlighted the importance of women's involvement in decision-making. It provided a forum to discuss the long-standing politics of gender inequality and impunity that have harmed Sudan's political system for many years. In her speech during the conference, SIHA Regional Director Hala Al-Harib denounced the Rapid Support Forces (RSF) for committing a number of crimes, including forced disappearances, sexual assault, exploitation, slavery, and the detention of women and girls.
Humanitarian aid workers are exposed to intimidations and harassments, and so that make it very clearly, and some of them were killed actually. So that make it very clearly that for the international community to get involved, and to extend support for Sudan, we need a protection framework, and and that has to be taken very, very seriously. So within 6 months, the number of displaced persons have reached about 6 million people. And those who are remained still in conflict zones, they are struggling with access to food and basic needs. So it's a very, very miserable situation on the ground, very, very precarious situation.
Al-Karib emphasized the difficulties in recording these violations because the families are reluctant to disclose them. In order to prosecute the offenders, she urged the public knowledge about these crimes.
Basically, this conference is meant to bring more attention to the Sudan questions, an issue that has been really at the bottom of the international agenda, considering the fact that, right now the world is overwhelmed with so many crises. But the magnitude of the crisis and what's happening in Sudan is massive. The country is at a very devastating situation. There is today 10,000 Sudanese civilians have lost their lives due to the conflict. There is over 19 million children who are at risk, at very severe risks. There is massive number of women who are exposed to sexual violence, and so the conference aims to bring more attention and to discuss, aspects of women, peace and security during the conflicts, discuss access of women to humanitarian aid assistance and civilians to humanitarian aid assistance, and discuss also the access to the elements of justice and accountability by the warlords who are, creating this crisis.
Child protection and young people mental health expert Sulaima Ishaq El Khalifa also shed light on the women's challenges and the importance of mental health wellness and solidarity among the victims.
Whenever people are doing now intervention, it is not responding to the more than 1% of the need. And women pay the high toll of the war and conflict. And they also supposed to be, or people expect them to be actually responsible of building back and reconstruct the community. So if you want us to be responsible of that, if you want us to be strong enough to be holding the community back and be responsible of peacemaking, at least do some kind of effort to help us to do that.
Breathing in, one, breathe out.
The conference had also set up a wellness center to help some of the victims affected by the ongoing war speak about and heal from the trauma.
As you breathe out, bring your hands at the heart center. Take a deep breath in and breathe out, arms by the side.
On April 15, 2023, the war between the RFS and the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, broke out in Sudan. Many residents were forced to leave their homes once the RFS took control of large Khartoum out of fear of sexual assault and mass killings.